Right, well, here we are. This is the second of my Wealth from the Water series, and this is coming to you via a special request from Andy, one of the subscribers. Thanks, Andy. We really appreciate when you get in contact with Sailing LRA, the Sailing LRA channel, and give me some suggestions. We're going to move up to the top of the southern peninsula of Sydney Harbour, and today we are at Watson's Bay. As you can probably hear, I'm not scripting this. I'm going to just give you some commentary, hopefully some interesting bits and pieces as we go along. So here we are at the I guess the northern end of Watson's Bay, and you can already see there a mix of residential houses and some units and things like that, but mostly these seem to be houses. Watson's Bay was originally a pilot station in Sydney, and there was a pilot station set up here. There was also a like a lookout type of thing set up way back in the early years of the 19th century, which is a long time for those looking from outside Australia. This is a very young nation as far as European population is concerned. Now, Watson's Bay didn't really become popular for Sydney-siders until they could get to it. So things like trams opened up the area in the early years of the 20th century, and this is where you start to see the origins of most of the houses here. Watson's Bay is, I like to think of it as a bit of an anomaly in the eastern suburbs, because it is really quite a resort type area. Now here we're going around to the main area of Watson's Bay that attracts most of the tourists. This is the Watson's Bay Hotel in the centre of the picture there, and you can also see the wharf there with some buildings on it, mainly the seafood restaurants, which are particularly popular on sunny Saturdays and Sundays in this Sydney area. We're going to speed past that a little bit and get back to the houses, because that's what we're all about here. Wealth from the water. Yeah, as we narrowly avoid being run down by one of the billions of ferries that run to and from Watson's Bay from particularly Circular Quay in the middle of Sydney. So heading around a few of the moored boats here, there's a fairly large mooring field, and getting closer to the shore so we can see some more of these amazing houses. How much does it cost to live in Watson's Bay? That's a very good question, and it depends on what source you read. But the general consensus is the average or the median house price in Watson's Bay is around 5.5 million Australian dollars. That's right, 5.5 million Australian dollars. Now this place on the corner, this is amazing. You can see there's like a yellow apple thing happening. That is in fact, when we get back to the motion, it's spinning around. It's like a weather vane. It's like a weather vane. So thank you to those people for adding that onto that point. It allows the sailors to know whereabouts that wind is coming from. I can't begin to imagine what that property there on the corner is worth. Clearly well above the 5.5 million median house price. That would be who would know? Who would know how much that is worth? Probably the people paying rates on it. Some construction going on there. Everybody's got to have their own little piece of the water. They've got to have a wharf or an ocean pool or whatever you'd like. And if you've got the money to live in Watson's Bay, you've probably got a fair bit of cash that you can park a crane outside your house for a few months and build yourself a pier. Very nice. Maybe a boathouse. I'd like a boathouse. I don't know what to do with a mast, but a boathouse would be fun. Now I want you to have a look at this vessel. We're going to stop here. For the uninitiated, that's what's known as a rigid hull inflatable, and they are everywhere in Rose Bay. Oh, there goes another one. And as we move along some more houses, oh, another rigid hull inflatable boat. These things are everywhere. Another young person boat, which leads me to a bit of a theory I have. And my theory is that even though Watson's Bay has lots of money, and it has lots of young money, because, goodness me, below me down, there's another rigid hull inflatable boat. My thinking is, these are the type of boats that are driven by younger people. So if you're an up-and-coming banker, a lawyer, doctor, maybe dealer, this is maybe where you're going to be spending your money. You're coming into Watson's Bay, so there are lots and lots of other like-minded people like you who've got way too much money and like to speed around the harbour and there goes another one, a rigid hull inflatable boat. And as we head around towards Parsley Bay, I'm led to believe that Watson's Bay has the highest concentration of rigid hull inflatable boats per capita in the world. Actually, that's a complete lie, but there are so many of them. Parsley Bay, as you can see there, is a beautiful, beautiful spot. Very popular with families, and if you're new to Sydney or you're visiting Sydney, get down there on a summer's afternoon. It is an absolutely beautiful place. As we leave Parsley Bay behind, we're getting into one of the really serious moneyed suburbs in Sydney, and that is Vaucluse. Before we talk about Vaucluse, let's just stop the video just for a little bit and have a look at something that I found some time ago, and that is this obelisk there, and that, I'm told by a friend of mine, Graham, was one of the early navigational markers in Sydney Harbour. So thanks, Graham, very much appreciated. Vaucluse, where does that name come from? Well, as happens in the world at times when a big house is built, the surrounding locale takes on the name of that house. And Vaucluse, a house built by Henry Brown Hayes back in the early 19th century. He named it after a poem, as a matter of fact. Fontaine de Vaucluse, one of his favourite poets, Petrarch, wrote that, and the name just stuck for the suburbs. That house was later bought by a guy called Captain John Piper, and Point Piper is one of Sydney's most exclusive suburbs and featured in my early video about Wealth from the Water, link below. As we move ourselves around the headland, that's a wonderful 3-level Art Deco house just going under some renovation there, so that's going to be amazing when that's done. You can imagine the toll that the salt water and the wind takes on a concrete building like that. So Vaucluse, who lives in Vaucluse? Well, clearly people with a fairly large bankroll, depending once again on your sources, but it is estimated that the average house price, that's house price in Vaucluse, is about 8.5 million Australian dollars. 8.5 million. So we're talking a fair jump up from Watson's Bay, and Vaucluse is certainly one of the most exclusive suburbs in Sydney. This point here has one of my favourite architectural features, and that is what I call a leading light, but is officially known as the Vaucluse Range Front Light. Essentially, that glows red. The light in it glows red. And it is a guiding light for ships. It is a sister to the Pirrawee light, which is over the other side of the harbour in not so much Middle Harbour, but in Mossman area, the Mossman area, and it is a navigational marker for ships. You cannot see that from the land. You have to see it from the water, and it's actually placed in somebody's backyard, which I think is kind of cool. As we move around the point here, we're moving into an area known as Jenny's Beach. Not sure who Jenny is, but you've got a really nice beach, Jenny. Well done. So Vaucluse is just south of of Watson's Bay, and it is surrounded also by, well, not surrounded, on its southern end there is the suburb of Rose Bay, and it also butts onto Bellevue Hill. Vaucluse is interesting in that it saddles the ridge, so you've got the houses and stuff that we can see here on the harbour side, but you can also see areas of Vaucluse from the ocean side, and in an upcoming video I'll be highlighting that for you. Really is an amazing suburb with some incredibly big houses in it, and you have to be really successful to have to be able to stake your claim there in Vaucluse. We're just going to scoot around the rest of Vaucluse here at this side of the bay. You know, if you didn't see your house, well, I'm sorry, you probably don't watch my videos anyway. So let's go to an area of Vaucluse that I'm very familiar with, and that is the area that fronts onto Rose Bay. So we make our way around, we come to Milk Beach. And here we are arriving just off Milk Beach. That is Carrara House, also known as Strickland House, up there, and it is a beautiful, beautiful house, and it is a really good landmark to identify Milk Beach if you're coming in from the water. Why do I like this so much? Well, a couple of reasons. One, because for me it's a really good jump off point if I'm going out through the heads, because I can get my stuff sorted. There's a couple of mooring buoys here that I can attach myself to. It's also, the mooring buoys are close enough to the beach that you can swim into the beach, fiddle around on the beach, whatever you do on beaches, and then swim back to your boat. It's a really nice thing. And goodness me, is this another rigid hull inflatable boat I can see? Clearly somebody from Watson's Bay has popped around the corner to have a look at the beach. But as we move around the point, we start seeing some incredible houses, and for me these are some of the most special houses in Vaucluse. We'll speed up a little bit here so we can get to the good stuff. I mean, just get a load of this. Get a load of it. I can't imagine how much it would cost to have a crane building your house. If you know, please let me know. Throw it in the comments. Tell me how much it costs to hire a crane to build your house. I would be fascinated. And have a look at this thing. If you own this house, congratulations, because not only is it amazingly beautiful, it is enormous. I can't imagine what your heating bills are like, but I tell you what, good on you, well done. We come around further and we can see just one house after another that just blows my mind every time I see them. Here's more of a classical kind of faux Gothic look, but again, it's got a tower, for goodness sake, like a castellated tower. That's amazing. Really is just an incredible part of the world. And as I said, if you own one of these houses, well done to you. I tip my hat to you. You've obviously worked very, very hard, or you've inherited the bejesus out of something huge, because it would cost a fortune to keep these places running. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to leave it there for today. And once again, thank you, Andy, for requesting this. There's plenty more to come. We've still got Middle Harbour, all those places to go. Like and subscribe, please subscribe. Let's get our numbers up so we can share the fun with more and more people, like-minded people. So thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.